This new year, this year, like, just getting older, the years are really flying by. Like, completely just flying. I'm gonna sneeze. Life's just been moving. No, not everyone says that, but people are saying that now. I don't know if this really has always been a thing for people. I know, like, the older we get, people say life just flashes by and stuff like that. But I don't think it really feels like it's going this as fast as it is now. I think due to social media and being on our phones and stuff so much, and just our attention spans are so much smaller, and we're just constantly multitasking. Multitasking, I think now is at an all-time high in everything when it comes to life. We can never just do one thing at a time anymore. It seems we have to do two, three things at one time. Now I'm doing better with just trying to just do one thing at a time. But it has been instances to where I find myself trying to do two, three things at once. For an example, doing work in the house, like you're doing some like paperwork, or you're just trying to have a thinking time to where you're just brainstorming. You end up playing music while you're doing that. That's multitasking. And with that music, for some people, you're listening to music with lyrics. I can't listen to music with lyrics anymore. I've realized that's not for me because I can't think, because I'm thinking of the lyrics. I'm not thinking of what I should be thinking about. And so saying I can't do that no more. Like, I feel the older I get, well, of course, the older I get, I'm getting older, but I feel like I'm turning into like an old man in certain things. I had to listen to like jazz music, bro. Instrumentals, like scores. Scores is low key the wave when you're trying to do some work and you just want something to listen to and you don't want it to be like pitch quiet, like dead silent. I would recommend like movie scores, soundtracks, just straight up jazz music, Japanese jazz. Japanese jazz is that fire. I'm trying to tell you. I'm in a situation in my life now to where I really have to get things in order. I have to be really schedule based and really make sure I knock things out and let the right things down. I'm not as smart as I think to where I feel like I could just leave it. No, I can't leave it in my head, yo. I'm past that now. I'm past that naiveness of thinking that I can just leave it all in my brain because I have that capacity. I have mental capacity now. But when it comes to really like small things that you think you could just file in your head, no. You gotta write that down. At least for me, I do. I don't know about you, but I do. Using the calendar, that's a way, like that's what I'm really trying to do. When this video comes out, it's gonna be 2024. And truthfully, I had no resolutions just because I've really just had the mindset of if it's something that you really want to do and change, you start now. You don't really wait for a certain time to do that. Because truthfully, when it does get to like January 1st, are you really even going to switch up? Are you even going to change anything? I feel like you're not. Yeah, saying all that is just like, bro, just do it now. And all that pressure, it's a lot of pressure when you wait to like for a specific time to start. That's a lot of pressure on yourself, especially when you don't feel like you're mentally prepared either. That sucks. So it's like, just go ahead and just start now. That way, it's less expectations. You feel more like you're easing your way into it and not feeling like you're just being thrown into the wolves, just thrown into a pit of fire and having to get started. Because that's when you get frustrated and you get anxious. And truthfully, when it comes to starting something new or picking something back up, the last thing you want is anxiety. I just said all that to say is don't wait for a specific time to get started. Don't wait for someone to tell you when you should get started. Just go as you feel. Like as soon as possible. Just go as you feel. And it does not have to be pretty. Just literally just pick it up and just do it. And the more you do it, that's how you get to correct yourself. And for me, as trying to get back into writing as well, it go like this writing technique is legit with this life too. As in, when you're making a story, the most important thing is to just get the story written. Just write it. It does not have to be the best story in the world. You don't have to write a Socrates book. Just make the story from beginning to end. Then after you do that, you can always go back and revise it, read over it, fix something that you know you would rather say or would add a scene or take a scene away things like that. You can always go back. And that's the same thing with just getting started with anything. When you get started, you can always go back and look and see how you've done and make changes. But you can't make any changes if you've never even started. So it's like, even with that perfectionism curse that I have, sometimes I'm learning to conquer it. Um, Bro, just get started. Don't even worry about how pretty it is. Don't think that this first attempt is going to be the best attempt in world history. Don't look at it like that, because that's when you really put so much pressure and anxiety. You either don't do it, you don't have fun doing it, and yeah, it's not a good time. And then it turns you off from wanting to do it because you're like, bruh, when you think about it, you just really just get in your head. And it's not fun. You just want to avoid that. We all avoid things that we find not fun or bring stress to our lives. And so why would you want to make a hobby and something that you really passionately love turn it into something that you just absolutely can't stand and want to just absolutely just abandon it and avoid it? You're just really working against yourself. 2024 for me, and yes, I have resolutions, but they're not resolutions to where it's the basics, man. For me, it's just the basics. Like small things. Make sure I read every day. I write every day. Like things like that that'll turn other things bigger. I'm not trying to make a New Year's resolution to where it's like I'm going to be the president of the United States or by the end of 2024 and stuff like that. It's like just pick up the small habits, the basics, because just like in practice in football, track, basketball, the people who master the basics are the most polished and the best players in the league. Just focus on getting those basics, and I promise you will see growth in whatever you're trying to do. But if you don't focus on those basics and you're just trying to do some mad difficult stuff that most people that are good at those things, they've mastered the basics, you're just gonna keep falling flat on your face. Or you can obviously accomplish it, but it's gonna be a lot harder, a lot more brain power, more juice and stuff, and it's not sustainable. It's not. And so just keep that in mind. It's just focus on the basics, really. At least for me, that's what I just want to do. I have it written down somewhere. I have to go get it, and I can honestly tell you exactly what I'm talking about. Actually, give me a second.